And welcome to the Money Round. I am the Money Coach, and we're brought to you by Extreme Training. Yeah, we're the elite. Come and train with the elite. That's nice, Drew. You got the old school on. Also brought to you by Spartan Combat. Shout out to my man Nick
Nothing.
Jerome. All right, today we are lucky to have the whole little. Well, I say not the whole Little Dog clan. We're missing two, but just some people who've been very important in my life and in this wrestling journey of ours. And we make some good relationships, and it's just been fun times. And so we have the Lilledahls, better known as Drew Jersey, Lightland Luke, and Heather. She will cry at a drop of a dime. Lilledahl. What's going on?
Not much.
Uh,
Thanks for having us, Coach.
Yeah,
Excited.
yeah.
yeah, it's been good, been good. So. All right, so Luke, like you got to win the U.S. Open. What's been the plan this week?
This week I have not done any working out whatsoever. Um, Usually like we try to plan a couple weeks out of the year where we can kind of just like get away from wrestling, not really focus on it, take our mind off it and just kind of refresh. Um, I think it's important, especially like the longer that you're in the sport. Um, and now that we're like I'm in college and the senior level, it's important to be focused when you're training, but then kind of like when you're taking a step back and you can relax to just relax and let your mind kind of get off of wrestling. So that's what I've been doing this week, and then next week kind of just get back into the swing of things. So
Now, did you
About
take
two.
off? Sorry, real quick. Did you take off after NCAA's?
yeah, I took a couple days off after NCAA's. Not as many, not as much as I will like this week and like I into next week kind of. Um, just because it was a little bit of a quicker kind of turnaround from NCAAs to the Open, which is usually how it is. So
Nice. What you about to say, Drew Drizzy?
Oh, I thought he was going to say when he came back from his break, he was going to throw about 200 or 300 lefty headlocks every day.
Yeah, the old lefty headlock. Yeah, it was interesting. Like, as watching the match, I saw you just lock your hands and rip it. When was the last time you threw a head, Norm?
I don't think I've ever hit a head and arm in an actual match before, except maybe like Greco. Um, but in practice, I'll hit it like if it's there in practice because like why not? Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just trying to like get the feel for it. So it's kind of like if I can get it in practice more, then I have more confidence in it. Whatever it is, just like to be able to hit it in a match. Um, so I think that's honestly like the amount of times that like I've drilled it, just like wrestling or even like back at like CBC, like sim, like with the dummies, just like throwing them like before and after practice. So I think it's just important to like learn how to throw and learn how to like wrestle Greco because like even if you don't wrestle Greco through high school and college, like I remember I didn't wrestle a Greco tournament after like my freshman year of high school, but I still practiced it every week with like you and whoever else, even if it was just like we called it like dirty Greco, where I was like I could like we would do like trips and stuff, but it was still like learning how to do like use your upper body and use your knees and stuff like that and the clinch and all that stuff. So I think it was helpful.
Yeah, it was. I was having a conversation with somebody. I was like, I don't know if you remember this, Drew, but I guess the U17 that year, Luke didn't place in Greco. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how he hadn't lost in Vegas, and I was like, well, you know what? That's maybe hasn't lost in freestyle.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, he lost in Greco. Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
did we lose to that day? Like, who was that? I can't.
One of his teammates at Sam, Cooper Hilton, beat him.
Look,
Oh,
yeah,
and then I think Otto Black beat him in Vegas. I think I want to say.
The last
Yeah.
match.
One year, that was like a 5-5 criteria win for Otto to make the world team that year.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, then I was like, I just remember having a conversation with Drew. I was like, maybe it's time not to do Greco anymore. So, but yeah, you're right. Drew, as a parent, people always want to know, like, what how did you develop Luke and get his love for wrestling? I mean, I don't know if you gave his love for wrestling, but definitely put the love of wrestling in him and develop so many skills like that.
Well, that's a good question. I was average at best maybe a little above average as a high schooler, but average at best as a D1 wrestler myself. Then I got into high school coaching. I knew I love wrestling. I wanted to coach. So the more I hung around coaching, the more I hung around guys that knew what they were doing. When I was in high school, I was around maybe 3 or 4 coaches and maybe 3 or 4 coaches from another team or something. In college, I was kind of around my 2 or 3 coaches. But then when I started coaching high school, I started surrounding myself with guys that loved the sport and that really knew what they were doing. I wanted to develop my guys in the off season. They knew that was important. So I kind of started learning about freestyle. I had never really freestyled before. So honestly, my love for wrestling and my wrestling IQ was going up probably at the same time Luke's was. So we talked a lot about wrestling and how to get better at wrestling and what certain coaches were saying and how to think about getting better at wrestling and that kind of thing. I'm sure that my love for wrestling rubbed off on Luke. And I always tried to keep it fun. We would go. I'm a school teacher. I teach middle school PE. So in the summertime, I could basically go to any wrestling camp at any time that I wanted to go. And so I would pack, Luke, a few other kids from the club, Zan Fugit, shout out to Zan,
Yeah.
And some other guys. And we probably hit every major club in Missouri for sure. And some in Illinois, some in Iowa, and some in Oklahoma. And,
Hey,
we just had fun with it. And we tried to expose ourselves to as many different high level guys that we could get around.
the best stories is when you, Luke, and Kobe, maybe somebody else, y'all would go to like Iowa Saturday night, Wisconsin on Sunday. Oh, Furlage, you and Furlage, and then be back at CBC on Monday morning, dropping them off right to school, and you going to work. Traveling from Wisconsin. Now that's crazy.
Yeah, I rolled in hot a couple times to work. We developed a relationship with some guys in Southwest Wisconsin. Lucas Stelt's a big Greco guy. My nephew, Will Shear, Luke's cousin, is a full-time Greco guy there. And for like 3 years in high school, he's at Northern Michigan now. Just made the finals of the U20 division in Greco. Some of my favorite days, I would get up at 3:30 in the morning. We would leave at 3:45. It'd be me, Luke, Colby, Flerlagi, sometimes Will, and I would drive to Blue River. It's a 6-hour drive. We get there at like 9:45. They practice from 10 to 12. I would sleep in the car. I'd take them down to this. What was that place called, Luke? It was like a secondhand thrift store. The Arrow, something Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah, it was like a little. This dude in there was old school. He had a notebook. Like you go in there and buy like a roll of duct tape or something, and he'd write out like 20 cents down in a notebook. That's how he was doing his taxes. And he lived in the back of it and stuff. And then they'd practice 2 to 4. I'd throw him in a truck stop shower and get him something to eat. And we had developed a relationship with Big Game Wrestling Club.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dylan Carew. He's a great guy. He does great things. Him and his brother Tyler. And there's all kinds of guys that are involved with that. Allie Reagan was involved with them for a while, but she just got the
Allie
job
St.
at Iowa
John
State.
now. Allie St. John.
Yes, thank you. She's I don't know, you probably know this, Coach, but I first met Allie Reagan, Allie St. John. She was a freshman in high school wrestling for Carbondale.
Yep.
She came over to the Parkway West gym where I was coaching high school, She was wrestling like 106 pounds and she tuned up one of my guys real fast and was hitting low singles real fast. And I was just like, wow, who's this girl? She was like a freshman in high school. Her dad was coaching her. But yeah, we do that. Dylan had a practice at like 7 o'clock in Iowa City. So we had 2 Greco practices, roll back, wrestle 7 to 8:30. I'd put them back in another truck stop, shower, and throw some groceries down their neck and get home at like 1:30 in the morning and then go to work the next day. So that was pretty well. We did that probably once a month for probably 2 years, I bet.
Right. Heather, how did you deal with this madness?
I don't know. I remember the first time he told me he was going to do this, I was like, what are you doing? No, you're not. Did you think about this first? He's like, oh yeah, I got it all. Yep. I got it all planned out. Okay.
Oh man. So look, was those fun times being in the truck and doing all that?
Yeah, I mean, those are like some of like the things I remember now. Just like now that I've had time to kind of like reflect on those things and like think about them. Because I think it was important for me to kind of see like all those different coaching styles and stuff. Like I remember there was times like we would like be at tournaments and I would be wrestling like a kid that we know or like a kid from our club, and I don't know if he would coach against me or if like he would just not like he would just let other people coach me um like in the middle of like a tournament, because like it didn't really like he didn't really care, like he just wanted me to get as many like different like wrestling perspectives as I could. um and I think that like kind of helped me just like develop and um grow like as a wrestler, and also mentally, because like I feel like the more perspectives that you can get, uh you're not so like one dimensional. You can kind of think about things differently in certain situations. So I think that was important. But I mean, yeah, like I had a lot of fun growing up. uh just like in the car, because like I feel like I was growing up, like I would be with my teammates all the time, and like when you're stuck in a car for like 5 or 6 or 7 hours with like your best friends, like it's pretty fun. So um yeah, I would say those are like times that
So
I remember now.
do you miss digging for the pools? Do you do you miss shoveling the stuff for helping with the
That
pools?
is one thing that I do not miss at all. But I will say that I think like doing all that stuff like helped me kind of like have a perspective as well. Like this is like not something that I want to do, like, and so I'm going to work as hard as I can to not have to do these things. But at the same time, it's like I know like what actual hard work is, because I've been like stuck under a deck in a catcher squat for 2 straight hours trying to screw a trying to screw a screw into a pool panel, and can't even see the hole, so I'm going like this trying to like screw it in, and shoveling like dirt and sand and stuff. um so I think that just like gave me like a perspective as well. So I think, I mean, and I feel like everything that my parents have done like has been to try to like give me a new perspective, or like teach me something that I probably wouldn't be thinking about then, but like now that I'm a little bit older and I have had time to like reflect on it, now I actually like understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I just remember days we'll do like a tour day or summertime we'll do a camp and you'll do like two 2 hour practices and you're out shoveling in the pool and I'm like, man, that's rough. Good luck,
Yeah.
buddy.
I remember during like the COVID summer, we were working out at the Wolves Den a lot,
Yeah.
like during the summer, and I would work from work with my dad from like 7 a.m. to 1, go like shower, get a change of clothes, and get like a sandwich and some other food, go work out with you guys, and then I would just go straight. Sometimes I would like take like a like a hobo shower in in the pool with some soap that I brought. And then I would just work again from like whatever time we stopped. So I think it was crazy, but definitely taught me like the actual definition of like hard work and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Heather. So let's talk about, well, if you guys talk about like your journey to like go to CBC and then sim. Let's ask Heather. What do you think?
Uh-oh.
How did that happen to you? How did that affect you?
How did that happen to me? I don't know. Well, it was like the CBC decision was like really, really late. It was the whole COVID thing, and so they weren't even, there weren't any like tours being done or any of that kind of stuff. So he was just kind of like, I never got to go visit, and was like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like almost time for school to start. Like, what are you talking about? So that decision, as soon as he went and visited and saw CBC and learned more about it, and like he just kind of knew that's what he needed to do. And so we were on board with that. We felt like that he knew what he wanted. And so it's kind of like the same thing happened with Sim. When you called that day, Cornell, and you told us that you got that job, like we were like, yeah, that's awesome for Cornell. And then like we kind of looked at each other and was like, wait a minute, what does this mean? Like, so then I kind of started thinking like, does this gonna, what's Luke gonna do? So that was kind of the next step, was like, but Luke knew pretty quickly that that's what he needed to do. And basically we weren't going to stand in his way. I mean, Drew said, I remember Drew saying to me, like, we have to trust him. He knew the right thing, and he went to CBC, and that was the right move for him. And now this is the right move for him, and he's been right. I mean, he knew what he needed to do and what he wanted out of those situations, and he went and got it. So it was our job to just get out of the way and try to survive it.
Pay the money.
Yeah, that too.
It's kind of funny. Like I remember, I remember watching the Mark Perry documentary on Flow Wrestling with my dad, and that had kind of always been in like the back of my mind, going to like one of those like big like prep schools and being able to wrestle, and just kind of like how that would like feel to wrestle there, and just that whole atmosphere. Not as much Sim, because I didn't really know Sim that well. The only prep school that I knew was Blair growing up in wrestling and things like that. And it's just funny that I kind of ended up at one of them. And I just remember like watching that with my dad, and I think he was like, yeah, you never know like what could happen. Like you could put your application into one of those schools, and then you could end up there, and then you never know what could happen. So I think that's just kind of funny that I actually did end up going to one of those schools and how everything worked out.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was a heck of a ride too. It was just a crazy ordeal. That went fast. It seemed like it went fast, but I guess it was slow. It seemed like
well, I remember too, like CBC wanted to keep him, so I was your assistant at CBC. So my name came up right away to maybe take over for you. And they wanted to keep Luke in the program. And I had to make a decision myself. Like, I just spent 10 years getting Luke to this point. And do I all of a sudden want to take on 25 other kids, some of which maybe have never wrestled before and things like that? And do I want to be the sole coach responsible for Luke's development from now on, without you being around? I don't know that I would have been the sole coach, but basically it was time for me to pass the baton, and for me to realize that I had done everything I could for him. And let him fly. You
Yeah.
know.
Who's the one crying now?
New Jersey, no!
Sorry, I didn't know that was gonna.
And he's getting you. So
That's
nah,
me. That's not him.
nah, it was awesome, man. It's just been such an honor to be around and just be a small part of this journey. So it's just been fun to watch. And no, we got more to come, so it's pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
Luke, tell us what went into the decision to go to Penn State. I mean, after, I know those guys don't look as good as me or as coach as good as me. So, like, how hard was it?
uh, I mean, I definitely had to think about it. I mean, I had like offers from a lot of other schools, and I mean, um, obviously they're like the top of the top, right? But I think really it was like just the culture here compared to the other schools. There's not a lot of uh like outside stuff that goes on here. I think there's a lot of noise because when you're at the top, everybody wants to
Yeah,
tear you down, right? So everybody's trying to
they're trying to find a way.
find stuff, uh, you know, within the program, things like that. They're trying to just tear you down. And I think one of the things that Coach Kale says is just um, focus on what you're trying to do. The devil's always going to find a way to try to tear you down, right? So I think just focusing on what you can control is one of the things that they kind of preach every day. And yeah, like I said, the culture here is just, I think it's a lot different than other schools. Obviously, they want to win here really bad, but um, they do everything that they can do uh, within the rules to you know have us be at our best every year. Um, and they always have a plan for us, even if you know you come in and they want you to redshirt, and you might not want to redshirt, but they ultimately have a plan for you 2 to 3 years in the future, whether you are a redshirt or a starter now.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of another thing that a lot of coaches might be thinking about. They want to have their best team every year, and I feel like Coach Kale kind of like thinks of it like chess a little bit. Like he's just 5 to 6 moves ahead of everyone else, and I think that's one of the reasons that he's we're always at the top every year, and we're always performing our best in the bigger moments. Um, and just like the teammates that I have here are awesome. We all have the same goals, and we all want to just be the best wrestler that we can be. And we want to hold each other to a high standard while we do that. So, that's being a good person, having a good faith, um, having, you know, as good a grades as you can get. Everything. Coach Nick it was funny. Um, Coach Nick said to me one day, we were just kind of sitting down on the benches at practice, and he was like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, if your grades are like kind of slipping, that's eventually going to catch up to you. And so, kind of from then on out, I was just like, yeah, let's just like, I'm going to do the best that I can in everything that I can. And, the outcomes will happen. And just kind of let everything fall into place how it should.
Yeah. So what do you think, like, you were the most prepared for going into college wrestling, for either from your parents, school, wrestling, whatever, and academically? Like, what do you think you were the most prepared for?
I mean, I think just like going to like a prep school in high school and having to move away from home um is not something that a lot of kids will have to experience or get to experience. I would say is a better way to look at it. um so I think just like that kind of that distance and not having your parents there to um look after you and make sure you're getting your homework done, make sure you're getting your nutrition right. Make sure you're doing your laundry, even those little things like that. Just like
I know some stories about some kids doing laundry. Good Lord.
so
Yes.
I mean, yeah, just like I feel like going to sim overall just helped me um kind of just prepare for college because those are things that like you can't replicate when you're at home, and a lot of kids might get like shell shocked or even get homesick or things like that, but it's like I was living away from home for 3 years before I even got to college.
Right, right. All right. We don't
So
give Sim too much credit here. Forget those bums. All right. So, let's go wrestling wise. What do you think you're the most prepared for?
I think probably just like the hand fight of college wrestling. Because I feel like, you know, senior level freestyle is uh a lot more tactical in like certain positions. I feel like folk style is just like a grind every match. Um, Especially like when you're at the top, you're gonna get every guy's best match. So, um, I think just being ready for that and like being able to, especially like my freshman year last year, being able to like, hand fight and win those close matches against the guys that are probably a little bit more physically mature than I am, and a little bit stronger, and things like that. I think last year I was still the best technically in the weight class. It's just maybe the strength factor and the maturity kind of got the best of me a little bit at the end there. But I mean,
It's funny you say that too. Not that Jacob didn't have the weekend we wanted in Vegas, kind of got hurt, but he had placed at a lot of college tournaments and opens, and the difference was he's been taught how to hand fight. I keep telling like the hand fight in Missouri is way
yeah,
behind, but Jacob is able to kind of hand fight with these guys. Maturity he's still kind of behind, but he can stand the match because he can hand fight. So I think that's I always ask somebody, what's the number one thing? Is it getting out on bottom or hand fighting? I used to say getting out on bottom, which it still is, but I think hand fighting has moved up on
I
my
think it
list.
was. I think it's hand fighting. Just because I feel like I could get away from anyone, even last year. Um, I would say if anything, it would be like riding guys and getting turns more than bottom now, because I feel like everyone um is decently good on bottom. Um, I feel like there's a lot of like there's stuff out there now you can go learn um techniques and things like that, and you can do that on top too. But I just feel like top is uh it takes a little more of a feel to learn than bottom does. So I think top is. I think the debate now, at least for me, would it be top or hand fighting, and it's still hand fighting for me because I feel like you're not really going to be on top unless you reverse a
Score.
guy or you take him down.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, you guys about to enter money round. Luke, you done one before, so we'll start with your parents. They got to
all
answer. We're
right.
running out of time here. We got 7 minutes, so they got to be short and quick. And Luke, you can always jump in. Pizza or hamburger?
Pizza.
You want me to answer too?
Yeah.
All right, pizza,
Uh, pepperoni or sausage?
pepperoni,
Sausage.
Popeyes or KFC?
KFC,
Popeyes.
Chicken or steak?
steak,
Chicken.
Do you call it pop or soda?
soda,
Soda.
What y'all call it up there, Luke? Is it pop or soda?
Soda.
Soda. I know you don't drink soda since you're a world class athlete. All right. Would you rather have a bear or chimpanzee as a pet?
chimpanzee.
A bear. You can wrestle
What'd you say, Luke?
Uh, I'll probably go bear as well.
All right. This question stunned your coach for a while. Would you rather have ghosts or roaches in your house?
Ghost.
Yeah. Probably Ghost for me as well.
I lived in college in a place that had roaches. Ghosts for sure.
Kale was
I'm
like
gonna go
roaches. I was like,
Casper.
bro, you
I'll
must
tell the ghost some jokes. He'll be on my side.
all right, some dad jokes. All right. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Jackson.
Hey, speaking of that, the movie just came out.
I
Yeah.
know.
I have to go check it out.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. Michael Jackson movie came out. Pen or tech?
Tech.
Tech.
Check.
Tech. All right. Double or single?
Single.
Single.
Single. Armbar or chicken wing?
Armbar.
Armbar.
Yeah, probably armbar.
Armbar. Sprawl or head blocks?
Head blocks.
Head block. Head blocking family. Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Batman.
Superman.
Ooh, head norm or body lock?
Head no.
Yeah, head and arm.
Head norm.
Yep.
All right. Marvel or DC?
I'm gonna go Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah, I'd say Marvel, I guess.
Marvel.
I don't know if I can speak
I
too
don't know.
intelligently.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Would you rather be attacked by a shark or a tiger?
Probably a tiger. Actually, well, it depends. How shallow is the water?
Oh, everybody. Hey,
Yeah.
JJ Holland came on and said shark. Shark's not really trying to take you underwater and keep you. They just want to take a limb and then take a taste.
And I think you could defend a shark easier than you could defend a tiger too.
a tiger's trying to kill you, eat you all the way up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go shark, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shark.
All right. Big one. Five Guys or In-N-Out Burger?
I've never had In-N-Out.
What?
I've had both. Five Guys is expensive. I don't know.
In-N-Out's pretty expensive too.
It is. It is. Come on, I gotta make a choice.
I'll go In-N-Out.
Drew Drizzy, you gotta make a choice.
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. All right.
Didn't they have one down in Tulsa? In-N-Out?
No.
Uh,
No. They've been together on the West
no.
Coast.
Yeah.
No, those are West.
Mm.
All right.
Have you had In-N-Out?
They had something down in Tulsa that was not.
Whataburger.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Anything about food, I know. Trust me. Guts or laces?
Brownies was the place in Tulsa that was the greatest.
Brownies?
They had root beer floats.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a little hole in the wall diner. It was pretty good. We always went there.
Guts or laces?
Laces.
Laces.
Loyalty
Lace
or
man get paid.
Lace man get paid. Loyalty or respect?
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could wrestle, I'm gonna ask this to Luke and then Drew Drizzy. If you could wrestle anyone in the world, dead, present, or alive, who would it be? Any weight class besides me, because I always beat you.
I think probably Buvasar, Satiev, or his brother, really. Either of the Satiev brothers.
Okay. Said Casey. That's what he wanted.
I think, either of those two.
Who'd you want, Drew?
Woo, we studied those guys a lot. Higuchi, awfully good. And we studied him a lot. Aliyev.
Yeah.
He's really good. Studied him a lot.
It's so crazy, too. Like, when you came back and you started finally hitting the Haji Alil snap, Seeley was kind of already hitting it. And I seen Forrest, I couldn't figure out what he was doing. He was already hitting it, too. But then you kind of helped me figure out how to teach it. So now I can teach it to anybody. It's just crazy how it takes off now. Everybody's hitting it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. Anything else for the people? Are we just waiting for Final X, I guess, is next?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's in Newark again. Same place
Same
as
place?
last year.
Okay.
So,
there on the East Coast.
yeah, probably.
Hold on. Do you know they have an RF here in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Bad timing for us, June 13th.
Yeah,
and
it's like the week before Final X. So not great timing for me. They never reached out to me though.
Really?
So yeah, maybe they forget that I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah, I guess so. They try to, maybe I talked to Izzy. They're trying to get me and KD to do a super match. Me and Coach KD to do a super match on RL. So you never know. We may have to do it. We may have to do it. Drew, are you gonna go to RL?
Good question. I don't know. I might be pooling.
Oh yeah, always pooling.
I got 25 people on the board. I can't work a whole lot right now because I'm teaching all day and still doing intramural sports and coaching a little bit of wrestling here and there. And, but I guess intramurals is about to end. So I'm going to start. The sun hasn't come out too much yet. It was too cold last weekend to work. So can't work tomorrow. Too cold. Sunday, I got 3 jobs. I'm going to try to throw 3 liners in, make a little money.
All right. Well, people, that is it. I appreciate you guys. Love you. Miss hanging out. We got to hang out a little bit over in Vegas. So
yeah.
Love you too, Coach. Love you, Luke.
Love you.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Love you, Luke. Bye.
See ya.
I'm sure there is going to be more than one unpleasant surprise before we're done.
Let's go! If you like the kind of podcast where the truth gets weird, you'll love Debugged with Patrick Bass. It's where true crime crashes into AI, conspiracy meets comedy, and no topic is too strange to touch. From hackers to ghost hunters, cult survivors to code breakers, Debugged brings wild guests, real stories, and zero filter. New episodes every week. Search Debugged with Patrick Bass on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your next obsession. Decoding the truth.
Electricast.
Go check out the money round on Electricast with yours truly, the money coach, giving you all the best knowledge in wrestling, college wrestling, international, freestyle, high school, having the top athletes in the game, the best coaches in the game, and also the best MMA guys across the world. Check us out on the money round. Great comedy, great insight, and great conversation. The money out.
Electricast. Electricast.